before you're a pimp, you got to be a man. Before you're a doctor, before you're a lawyer, you got to be a man. But no one has ever really defined what a man is. I mean, what's a man? What makes you a man? I have a client that I coach and advise, and I explain to him dealing with his wife. I say, listen, man. I said, and I learned this from the game. Everything breaks down to value. Now, I want you cats to really listen to what I'm saying. Get your pens out. Get your paper out. I'm not being funny. I'm not being facetious. I want you to write this stuff down because it's going to sound good, and you're going to say, oh, man, that sounds good, but write it down if you want to utilize it for your life. Everything breaks down to value. Give you a perfect illustration. Say you got an average girl and an average guy in America, and they have a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend. In that average relationship, the girl feels that she's more valuable than her boyfriend. You can ask that girl, hey, would you allow your boyfriend to be with another girl while he's with you? Would you allow him to have another girl? She might cuss you out. Heck, you know I won't. And get angry and frustrated with you even asking her that question. But ask her a different question. Ask her a question like this. Ask her, if you had an opportunity to see your favorite movie star, your favorite rock and roll singer, if you had an opportunity to be with your favorite actor, even though they're married, would you be with them? And if they was honest, they'd be like, girl, yes, or yes, I would. Well, the question is, why would you be with your favorite actor, your favorite sports figure, and your favorite singer, and he had another girlfriend or a wife, but you wouldn't let your boyfriend have another girl? Why would you do that? You know the reason, Tweet?
What's that, sir?
The reason is because she feels like the movie star, the actor, the singer is more valuable than her. So when you see something that's more valuable than you and you feel like it's more valuable, then you're willing to accept more from it. There's a parallel line from what I'm telling you to the Bible. See, in the Old Testament, they had multiple wives. And there was never, and I'm not promoting this to nobody, I'm just breaking down something about value, right? I'm making a correlation between the Old Testament, between pimps, and between value. In the Old Testament, there was never an argument about how many wives a man had. There was only argument about how many children one of the wives had. If one of the wives got more children than the other wife, there'd be an argument. But there was never a problem about how many wives a man had. Well, why is that? Why in the Old Testament was there no argument? Because back in those days, the value of a male child or the male was 10 times more valuable than a woman. A woman wouldn't even consider doing her duty until she birthed a man, her husband, a male child, because the value of a male child was so much higher. Therefore, the value of men was so much higher than the value of women. So because of that, women were just honored to be with a man, even if he had 5 or 6 wives, because his value was so great. So people ask me when I go lecture, how is it that these women will be with you and you got 8 women and they'll leave their boyfriend to be with you and you got other women? I said, because I feel value in myself. Well, how did you build value in myself? Well, the average man is taken over by a woman's sexuality. I'm not. In order to be successful in what I was doing, I had to minimize the power of her womb. I had to make her womb of no consequence to me. And when I made her womb of no consequence, automatically, she's like, well, who is it? Who do you think he is? Because she's used to slaying men with her womb. So when she recognized that didn't work with me, she's automatically interested in me. Like, oh, my God, because I feel the value. There's a store called the Bijan store in Beverly Hills on Rodale Drive. Now, when you go down and you walk by the Bijan store, they have something real particular in the window. They have a sign that says by appointment only. And you think, well, wait a minute. You got to make an appointment to go into the Bijan store? What if these people? What if I had $100,000 in my pocket right now? 200,000 didn't matter because you got to make an appointment to go in this store. Well, why is that? Because the owners understand something about how rich people think. Rich people want to feel as if they could do something that the average person cannot do. So the fact that there's a sign there, and you see somebody in that store, the people outside looking in is going to know that this person has to be somebody high power. And the feeling that person's going to get when you're looking inside of that store is value. Everything breaks down to value. So a lot of guys do some things without knowing it to minimize their value in the eyes of a woman. One of the things they do. You hear what I'm saying, man?
I'm listening, sir. Speak on.
So one of the things that they do is this. If my woman would have did this, then I would have did that. When they come to me and they tell me that, I say, don't you ever say that again. They say, why you tripping, Drake? I said, because what you're really saying is that you need her to be a woman in order for you to be a man. What you need to be saying is despite her actions are not big enough to make me be less than who I am as a man. When you say if she would have did something in order for you to be something, you've empowered her. You've made her powerful in your life. You can't operate in your manhood because she ain't operating in her womanhood. You've lost value.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So a lot of guys out here are making moves and losing value without knowing in the woman's eyes with that emotionalism. I told the guy this. I said, listen, you know why my wife today respects me, or you know why I have respect? I've been married 15 years this year. But do you know why I have respect in the game and I reserve respect right now in my relationship? Because I constantly am showing my wife I could do something better than she could do. Because if you don't show a woman that you could do something better than she could do, she don't got no reason to respect you. Because she don't think you just like her. So if you go into a situation and your reaction to the situation is the same way she's reacting to the situation, she's going to ask herself, why should I follow this cat? He's acting just like me. I need to be able to demonstrate that I can have my feelings hurt, be wounded, and still be a man and be consistent. If she could see me do that and she struggles with that, guess what? That builds value in myself, and she's got a reason to follow me. If she see you acting just like her with every situation, she ain't going to have no reason to respect you because you acting like her, which means you acting like a woman. But a lot of these guys never had nobody to convey this information, so they're walking around not knowing what a man is and how to be one. That's why they come to me. So in our community, they ain't never heard what I'm telling them right now today. They've never heard it nowhere. But now that they've heard it, and I hope they've written everything that I said down, they will begin to apply it. In young cats or older cats, if you apply what I'm telling you every day of your life, you're going to see the tables turn in your life. But you cannot minimize yourself by acting like you're a woman.
That's right. Because they will not respect you, as you said, and they won't follow you, as you said, and they won't listen to nothing that you say.
So you are
like absolutely 100% right.
Right.
I got another caller.
All right.
Hold on one second. Caller, last four digits 4810. You are live on 93.3 FM with Gorgeous Dre. Hello. Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's Rick again. I had to come back for another dose, man.
Okay,
right.
Rick, it's all good.
Yeah, and that conversation right there had me just as free as the last one. I couldn't get enough, Dre. That was so solid, man, and that was so real that, you know, you might have to repeat that phrase to me one more time so I can jot this on down. When you said to take notes, you was not playing.
What's the last thing you said?
I said, when you told us to take notes, I said you were not playing because it was definitely inspirational.
Yeah, it's necessary, man. That's why I told you guys to write it down. Understand, the principle of what I'm saying is everything breaks down to value, Rick. Everything in life, right? And a lot of things guys are doing without knowing, they're devaluing themselves in the eyes of their woman. They don't even realize what they're doing by some of the moves that they're making, right? So now, what I was explaining to you that a woman will accept more from you if you're valuable to her. If you're not valuable to her, I'm not talking about accepting something that's going to hurt her in any capacity. I'm just saying that you've got to showcase the value of your manhood. The reason why I was successful in the game, the reason why I was able to have, you know, multiple women at one time is because one thing I wasn't allowed. See, when you lie to a woman, you minimize your manhood. What you're saying is that you have to creep and yield in order to have this woman. I was the contrary. I let her know up front, this is what I'm about, and the reason why I'm telling you this is what I'm about because I want to give you the opportunity to decide if you want to continue with me or not. That's value. So the woman, if she continues with you, down the line, she can't say, you're a liar, you're sneaky, and she can't have no complaints.
Amen.
Up front from the beginning. But the problem with these cats is that they lie and they connive like sneaky little cats.
That's right.
And then they expect for the woman to have a good attitude. She shouldn't have a good attitude if you're representing yourself as a sneaky little broad.